Hi, good evening, everyone. And today we are extremely excited because we have with us a very, very experienced person in the field of child and human development. And she has 12 years long experience and she's very passionate to work in this field. And she is none other than Udita Khurana. Udita is very passionate counselor and she's done a lot of teaching and training in this field. Udita has been appointed with various international universities and schools, and she has worked very, very closely with the students and teaching faculty out there. She's really passionate. She has published n number of research papers in national and international journals, and she's presented them as well at the conferences at the international level. Udita's heart is for the students, and especially the early care. She's been associated with MIT University for about 9 years, and that is in the university, in the counseling cell, and even the MIT school, which is amazing. And she believes that, it is very important that students get engaged, they start exploring the environment, they experiment in the environment and evolve what exactly they are learning. And learning is not what is written in the books, but it should be an engaging experience. And Udita has studied from a world-renowned Jamia Millia University, and she has been also at the Mysore University in India. And she has studied learning challenges with children, and disabilities have been her area of passion. Thank you very much for accepting our request, Udita, and being with us today. How are you today?
Very well, my pleasure, and thank you so much for such warm welcome, Dr. Kalra. It has been a pleasure to meet you all and having an interaction with you on this area, in this field, in this area. Yes, as you mentioned, it is a passion for me to work with children, for the caregivers, for their families. Yes, definitely. Over the years of my education, my work experience, I've learned myself a lot, and in a bit, yes, contributed a lot to these children and their families.
Lovely. And coming from the same field, I do understand that the people who are working in the field, they need to be driven by their passion because it
True.
isn't an easy ride.
True,
And today
true.
we have chosen to discuss with Udita how we integrate self-determination skills to empower the people of determination. And people of determination already have plenty of challenges, and how determination skills are going to help them. Before we even proceed further, Udita, I would want you to actually explain to our viewers what is self-determination.
Okay. Yes, to begin with, it is very important to understand what is self-determination. When we talk of people of determination, there in itself, there is a term which is used as determination. And now here we are to discuss the self-determination. So when we learn about the word determination, or when we see the meaning, the literal meaning of that word is that the willpower. We talk about like the control, the empowerment. So when we talk of determination, we think of these meanings to it, and we understand that determination helps us to empower, to make the choices, and then to control our own self. So when we add self to it, so when we add ourself to it, it is like we are empowering ourselves. So it's more about like you are working on your willpower. So you are working towards overcoming those challenges, to face those challenges, to overcome, to learn the skills and strategies to overcome those challenges. And self by self, definitely we need help, we need guidance from people, we need support, we do need the support. But when we talk about self determination, it is like empowering our own self and making our own choices and having the control over our decisions. That is what it basically means. Yes, so today it is going to be about that.
Lovely. Thank you so much for selecting such a wonderful topic. A lot of parents and their caregivers often have this question in mind, I am worried when I am not there,
Yes.
what will happen to
Yes.
my child? And they often
Yeah.
come with this concern, and they see these children of determination being dependent on them for
On them.
years and years together. So, how
True.
beautiful is this topic? From where can we bring in that empowered self which starts taking care of self determination? Amazing. Why, Udita, do you think it is important to address this topic and to understand the challenges these people of determination face?
Yeah. So it is very important to understand the challenges first. Until unless we address their challenges, until unless we know what are they going through, we will not be able to enable them to make the decisions further. So we will not be able to empower them. So it is very important to understand the challenges. And if to have a prevention than the cure, to focus on the prevention or the early intervention. So we need to focus on the challenges. What are the causes? Why is it happening? What is the reason behind that? So when we set a goal for ourselves, for example, we see the complete scenario around it. So we understand our own strengths, we understand our own weaknesses, we understand and then decide our pathways along with that. And that is how we plan and work towards our achieving our goals there. So it is, that's why challenges means what are their strengths? It's not just their weaknesses. What are the areas of improvement that is also there? So the challenges, what are the barriers which is stopping them to make those decisions or getting empowered or to be the leaders also? So yes, it's very important to understand those challenges there.
Very, very nice, Udita, and very rightly said, to being focused on their strengths. And I
Yeah,
think there sometimes we do make a mistake, because the moment the focus is on challenges, we do understand that there are a lot of challenges. But the moment we keep the focus on the strength, actually that half full and half empty theory starts to work. You focus on half full, and the life
yeah.
becomes enormously full.
Mhm.
And that
True,
is what
true.
here to talk to you, the caregivers, the trainers, the teachers, the
Yes,
therapists,
yes.
the LSAs, whoever listen to this, how important it is just to shift your focus and enjoy the amazing difference in the whole teaching and learning scenario. I would like
True.
to ask you, Udita, that how the parents and the caregivers you think prepare themselves to handle and then flourish during especially these unprecedented times, because
Yeah.
nobody knew, and now it's more than a year and we're looking for a couple of more years to be in this kind of an era. I remember when it started, we thought it is for a couple of weeks became months, and
True.
now we're talking about years. So what would you suggest to our caregivers and the teachers of PODs, that is people of determination?
Developed. Okay. So yes, unfortunately, we are going through such tough times, not just the norm, not just the people of determination, but then a normal human or anybody there. So everybody is going through this unprecedented times and such tough times. And when we know that these children or these people already have an added kind of a challenge there, or maybe some things which are not addressed at their level, so it is very important to understand their pillars of strength or to build their pillars of strength there. So their pillars of strength is basically the right kind of educators we have to find, or maybe the caregivers, or maybe someone you have to find out those rehabilitation or health services that are provided. So these are the pillars of strengths basically, or what kind of initiatives we can take up. So there, so we have to work as a unified whole basically. It's not just an individual's role to understand the challenges or work on those challenges. We have to work as a unified whole there. So that means we have to work all together. So yes, so it's like even for the peace or even for the well-being of the parent or the caregiver, so to empower the child themselves or the people of determination, or to make those choices there. So it's very important to understand their well-beings, the parents or the caregiver. So as early or as soon as possible we can understand, then definitely we will be able to work on the intervention levels there. So it's a complete whole. It's a unified whole. That is what it is. That is where we have to work upon. So
Very
that
rightly
is,
said, Rita. Very, very rightly said. See, it is so significant, as you said, the caregivers who spend day and night with these kids at home, especially in this lockdown period where people are working
yes,
from home. It is very important, my dear lovely parents and the caregivers, that your mental health, your emotional
yeah,
well being is the center of their emotional well being. Because if
yeah,
you're not happy, if you're not emotionally under control,
stable,
things
yeah,
go grossly wrong. So we really need to look into it, and you should take care of your physical health, mental health, happiness. All these things are very, very important. And I always believe a happy mom will make a happy child. So it is important that we look into our own emotional well being before we even think about our lovely children. And I have often seen parents in tears and talking about, doctor, why my child, and why he's so different, and I feel embarrassed, or I feel ashamed. Let me tell you all, and this is what I tell all my parents, that if you are blessed with a child who is challenged, the good Lord has chosen you as that selected few, because he will not rest these children in any Tom, Dick, and Harry's hands. So he selects, and you are that chosen. So come on, take your responsibility and enjoy the journey instead of being sad and cribbing about what is not there. Focus on a lot of positive things which Udita is here to share with us. And if we focus on that, the journey is going to be amazingly different. Thank you so much, Udita. Now, I would like you to talk about what can be different approaches to empower oneself. So let's give these approaches to our caregivers so that when they are stuck, they have the ready tools and techniques in hand. So off to you, Udita.
yeah. So when we talk of the techniques or the approaches there, it is basically a step-by-step plan. So it's not something like, yes, definitely if we plan something, it will work on that individual there. But then we work on their skills and the strengths and the weaknesses. So it's a step-by-step plan. So first you need to address or identify their areas of strength or their areas of weaknesses, and then further plan accordingly, like what is required, what is the need of that hour, what is the need of that individual there, and based on that we set our goals, and we based on that we set our short term goals, we set our long term goals, or we do day by day building activities basically. So like for example, a child with a learning disability or a child with a language disorder, so there what we do understand that what are the level of functioning the child has, at what level the child is performing, and then we do the need assessment. Based on those need assessment, we make the goals, we make the plans then, and then we work on it. So it's a step by step process. And in that process, if you need any help of the education psychologist or teachers or the counselor, so now it's like through online consultancy, through online webinars also. So because now mostly it is a virtual world because of this pandemic there, so we can have the access to through online webinars. So we can attend those webinars. There are community programs where there are different people coming from different communities or different caregivers of different children of determination. So they join together. So through interacting with them, so we can understand a lot of things. We have a lot of groups also. So maybe like we have a lot of groups where through which the parents or the caregivers share their strategies, share their approaches. So that is another way. Along with understanding and learning those strategies, we also help each other. So it also working on the mental well-being of each other. So yes, it is also relieving our stress. So we are not alone. That is why I said it's a unified work towards that. And it is we are working on the willpower. So the term itself, self-determination, is talking about the willpower. So we need to have that patience, that willpower to make those informed choices and the decisions there. And nowadays even the schools and the teachers are continuously working towards them. and they are working for the empowerment of these children there. And there are so many rights, there are so many policies, so one should be aware of those rights also. So we need to attend those programs, or yes, if we get in touch with some person who has those knowledge, or who has those expertise in that field, so we can get those information and to be aware of things. That is also very important. So starting from the awareness and creating a step by step plan, you definitely would be able to find a solution for yourself. So you would not need someone's assistance in the long run then. Yes.
Very good. Thank you so much, Udita, for this. And I remember in this country, we have Sanat card, Children of Determination.
Yes.
Also have POD card. I don't know
Yes.
how many of them are having. I come across a lot of parents who are not even
Yes.
aware of it. You know, when
Yeah.
you have your card, at least you know you can have your parking sticker, you can have your salik being waived off, you can have
Yes.
entrances, movie tickets or entrances to various water parks or the
Yes. Yes.
some places it will be 1+1. I think because you're doing a great job, you must have your POD card or your Sanat card and use those facilities which the government of Dubai or UAE, I should rather say, is offering to you. So there's nothing
Yes.
that's wrong. But I've seen a lot of parents hesitate to get this card, though it is, it's a mandatory requirement because it makes things easy. Like if you're taking a child who has any kind of a physical challenge, and then you are parking your vehicle, maybe the place you're taking him far off. So all these handicap parkings are very, very close to the entrance of the malls or whichever place you're visiting. So I think this is your right and you must use it. So as Udita rightly spoke about, that it is very important for you as the caregivers be aware about what is available for them and ensure that you utilize that. I think we all are in this beautiful country. And in this country, I mean, our visionaries, our leaders have a vision to make it one of the best places in the world for the people of determination. I mean, courtesy Corona, the targets are delayed a bit, but for sure there's been happening a great work towards that. And I think the children who are in this part of the world are very, very lucky because you have such fantastic things coming your way up. And we need to see to it that you educate, you vocationalize, and finally you are independently settled for what exactly you're looking. Thank you so much, Adita, to talk about it. And I would also like to ask you what we can do to empower the people of determination. If you can give us some action point, I'm sure it's going to be very, very useful for all those viewers, especially the caretakers of children of POD.
Okay. See, last but not least, we have to be the enablers. So when we talk of people of determination, when we talk of their rights, their responsibilities, we need to be the enablers. That means we need to focus on all the aspects related to them. Like we talked about the awareness programs, we talked about understanding their challenges, how to address those challenges, and also along with that, what are the rights and policies that are there for these children or these people of determination there. So to become an enabler, we have to approach these opportunities or these facilities or these programs that are there without guilt, without having a guilt. I understand it is difficult when you are taking care of people of determination. You have to focus on yourself first. You need to focus on all the aspects about your own self first. So to become an enabler, you need to understand all the aspects, all the approaches related to that. So from understanding self to becoming an enabler, yes, it includes your choices, it includes the inclusion programs, what is inclusive education, what is about health and rehabilitation, how to take a social care, how to create a community awareness, or maybe comprehensive kind of an approach, or who is the service officer. So it involves all these aspects over there. So that's what I would say. So we all have to be an enabler to play that role, or to make those choices for our own self, and to have that control or on our decisions. So this is what is the ultimate goal of self-determination there.
Very rightly said, Udita, that it is very, very important for the caregivers to be very alert and join some support groups. It really builds your esteem up and you feel you're not
Yes.
alone in this world. Otherwise, when your child is the only one in the class, you say, oh my God, there are 25 kids and why my child? And you have
Yes.
these kind of questions. And I've seen the parents who are very positive, who have accepted it and they're working on it, they are happier than the ones who just keep questioning themselves, why me or why my child? What
Right.
wrong did I do? You did nothing wrong actually, because you were so smart that you've been selected and you've been gifted this child, and play
Yeah.
your responsibility well and take it and be an enabler, as rightly said by Udita, that we don't need to really think about ourselves or about them, and they should not be made dependent on us, but we try to make them so independent. With the early intervention, miraculous results can be obtained. I would also suggest that there are lovely tools and techniques available, and applied behavior analysis is one of the established scientific method to support such children. And I would suggest that at the earliest possibility, if you have a
Yeah.
child on spectrum or if you have an ADHD child at home, please ensure that you educate yourself. Now, the moment you educate yourself, then there is no contrast, of instructions between you and the therapist or the school send coordinator. Everybody is working in the same direction, and that is what is going to get you brilliant results. So it's very important for the parents to also be very informed about what's happening in the life of a child. Udita, it's been amazing topic because you chose to talk
Yeah.
about actually self-determination. And I have seen in my life that where the parents are confident, the children pick up the skill very, very quick. And once
Yes.
they
Yes.
by them, vocationally independent, they do the things independently at home, irrespective of the kind of the challenge they have. So whether they are hit mildly, moderately, severely, or profoundly, it is
Yes.
the
Yes.
attitude which makes such a big difference. And I
Yes.
always say caretakers, a caretaker without hope is a hopeless caretaker. So come on,
Yeah.
the hope alive. Keep looking, at the end of the tunnel, there has to be a bright
Be a
light.
light.
If you're able to see that smallest tinge of that bright light, focus on that. Ignore the darkness, and you would be amazed that the journey will take you at a supersonic speed to get your results. But the moment you get focused on the darkness, then certainly the results get delayed and then you become depressed. So come on, your mental health is so very important to us. Udita, what last message you will like to give it to the community of the teachers, trainers, parents, and the people of determination themselves? So this whole community is a unique community. It's a very loving community.
Yes. Yes.
Connect very well. So what I'm looking for is your one message to this lovely community.
I would like to say one thing here, that stay in connect with such people like you, and inspire each other. That is what is required. So let's stay connected in whichever small way we can, and let's inspire each other. That ray of hope will come from that inspiration, and definitely we will be able to achieve all the goals and challenge, overcome all the challenges. So let's be connected and inspire each other. That is most important right now. So we have to work
Lovely,
yes,
lovely, Udita. So let's hold
yes,
our hands together,
together.
inspire each other, be a team, and then see that
Yes,
hope together and bring in the marvelous results in the life of the children. Thank you so much,
true.
Udita, for accepting our request today. And
Thank
we
you. It was really pleasure meeting you, talking
it's
to you,
been
and
a
sharing the
pleasure.
experiences, because it is very much required. we need to talk, we need to connect with each other. It is very much required. So
And
it
I
was
think
my
the most
real pleasure.
positive part, Udita, of this pandemic is that Zoom has made life so simple.
Yeah, that's
I
what.
mean,
That's
wherever
what.
you
The
are
virtual
and
world.
wherever I am, and we feel there's
True.
no distance at all. And as you rightly
True.
mentioned in between, that during this period, there's so many things available. Parents, you
Yes.
can connect to the experts in the field across the borders. You don't, all the borders are diluted during pandemic, so don't need to be worried about, which country, where, and how. You can take the best of the training for your child from any part of the world. This Zoom is doing
Exactly.
amazing work. Thank
Yes.
you so much, Udita,
Thank
once
you.
again,
Thank you.
and it's
Thank
indeed
you for
a pleasure.
inviting. Thank you for
Looking
inviting
forward to
me.
see you again. Take
Sure,
care.
sure, definitely. Thank you. Bye bye. Nice meeting
Bye
you. Bye.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you, Lan. Thank you for your
Thank you. Bye bye. Yeah.
information. Very helpful to me also.
Thank you for
Thanks,
joining in.
Sharma. Thank you so much.